One of the many themes in Luke's gospel is the fact that Jesus is surrounded at the very beginning of his life with people who were prophetic. And so none of us should be surprised that Jesus is the great prophet of the end times. He's the one who comes and speaks for God because, as we will discover as the story unfolds, not only does he speak for God, but he is God speaking to us. But if you look at the story, the whole nativity story in Luke's gospel, look at the people that surrounded him. There was Zechariah, who was a little slow on the uptake, but eventually he caught on. It would be at John the Baptizer's circumcision, his name day, that John was his name. And when Zechariah wrote that on the tablet, all of a sudden, he who had seen the angel Gabriel but doubted what was said was finally able to speak once more. His name is John. Elizabeth, right from the very beginning, is a prophetess. Here we have Mary coming to her, Mary who had met the angel Gabriel just a little while before that, probably maybe a month or so, because she came down from Nazareth to Judea, which was not an easy journey, and she would have had to come down with a caravan. So it would have taken her a little bit of time to get down there, but remember, the angel Gabriel had told her that her kinswoman, Elizabeth, was pregnant, that she was already in her 6th month. So Mary goes down to help her. And when she gets there, Elizabeth, filled with the Holy Spirit, says, "Blessed are you among women. Blessed is the fruit of your womb. Blessed is she who trusted that the Lord's words to her would be fulfilled." And the baby in her womb, John the Baptizer, was certainly a prophet as well. And then we know, as the story unfolds, before it closes, we'll have Jesus being taken to the temple for the presentation. It was the law of Moses that every firstborn male needed to be given back to God, and that the parents had to redeem the child by offering something in the child's place. And so in the case of Mary and Joseph, who were not wealthy people, it was just a pair of turtle doves, the smallest gift that could be given to redeem a son. But when they go there to do what they were supposed to, with the thousands of people that entered the 7 different gates into the temple, all of a sudden we'll hear about Anna and Simeon, both of them a prophet and a prophetess. They recognize Jesus, this child in a mother's arms, when there were probably hundreds of mothers bringing their sons to the temple. They recognize him. Simeon singles them out and says, "Now, Lord, you can dismiss your servant in peace, for I have seen the promised one." And Anna does the same thing. Jesus was surrounded by these prophetic people. And so why should we be surprised that Jesus would be the one who not just speaks for God, but is God speaking to us? It is a story that truly is a wonderful story. But the line that I love is that line of Elizabeth, who looks at this young girl who's come to help her and says, "Blessed is she who trusted that the Lord's words to her would be fulfilled." You and I are blessed people. We've known, all of us, or most of us, from the time we were a little kid, the story of Jesus. We've known about his promise and the hope that he offers to us. That's been something that we've grown up with. How many Christmases have we celebrated over the years? How many times have we celebrated the birth of the coming of Christ into this world, that God chose to share our humanity? How many times have we done that? And, sadly, it can get a little old. I remember parents one time saying to me, "Well, Father, Christmas doesn't mean much anymore because the kids are all grown and gone. And so, it doesn't mean as much. And I thought, wow, Christmas is about kids. No, it's about something much greater than that. And somehow the focus, they missed that. I mean, at a point in their life that they should have been even more amazed at the story of Christmas. They didn't have to worry about the tinsel and the decorations and the presents and all the chaos that can come with Christmas when you have young kids. And when they had the peace and the time to ponder what was happening, to ponder the meaning of it didn't mean a whole lot to them anymore. It just kind of broke my heart, actually, that somehow Christmas wouldn't mean much to them. When really, as I've gotten older, it means a whole lot more to me than it ever did. I'm not going to be excited like a little kid. I'm more like that when it comes to Easter, but that's another whole homily. I'm not going to be excited, but I'm going to be content. Because the thought that God would come and share our life with all of its difficulties, its trials, its hopes, its joys, that God would come and be one with us. What a wonderful thing. But it's not just that he did that once. He does that now. He'll come to us again. He comes to us in his word, and in a few minutes he'll come to us in the gift of his body so that he can be one with us. What a wonderful gift. And it all began at Christmas. It's a reason to celebrate. Not perhaps with the excited joy of a little one, but with the contented joy of one who's grown old enough to understand the meaning. For blessed is he or she that trusted that the Lord's words to them would be fulfilled. We're just a few days away from celebrating that once more. And that's reason for joy.